Hello, everyone. Season's greeting and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A very, very warm welcome to CCE Finland SISU webinar. If you're just joining us and to our Zoom audience who has registered, a very warm welcome to this webinar, which is first of our webinar series this year in 2026. So a very, very happy new year to everyone joining us from literally different parts of the world. I am Simi Balani, COO with CCE Finland. And Finland and Bangalore, which is where I am currently, both are experiencing different type of cold. But it is beautiful to experience different kind of weathers, and it reminds us the need of different warmth care in such kind of a winter weather. So snowy greetings from Finland and cold but warm greetings from Bangalore. At Council for Creative Education Finland, our work is centered in supporting preschools, schools, K-12, universities, educators, and especially early year communities through our researched informed practice-based solutions. Across countries and contexts, including Finland, Pakistan, Indonesia, and other parts of the world, our focus remains in nurturing well-being, creativity, strong foundation for lifelong learning. If you're just tuning in, we are just getting started. A warm welcome again. And my name, as I said, is Simi. I passionately work closely with schools, preschool owners, and educators through CCE Finland and through my research in early years in SCL to develop pedagogical innovations. Alongside this work, we focus a lot on play-based learning, social-emotional learning, especially in early years. There are so many myths around early years saying if the child is playing, is it learning? What is Finland early years curriculum like? Will it even work in Asia? How are we going to train our teachers? Today, our session of SISU early years. And what is SISU? Of course, that's one question that you will have. An approach inspired by Finnish early childhood pedagogies, 5 learning areas where play, emotional safety, relationship, and nurturing child's natural curiosity is at the heart of learning. SISU that you will experience in next 1 hour is truly representing an inner strength developed not through pressure, not through academic boundaries, not through lesson plans or 30-minute sessions, but more from meaningful in-classroom and outdoor experiences. In this webinar, I am supported and joined by my wonderful backend admin team and 2 of my very, very profound ECE specialists, Ms. Sayowa and Dr. Shireen Kulkarni. They will come forward to share how SISU early years comes alive through practical, everyday classroom practices, which we are very, very proud to say they are research-backed. Now, what do I mean when I say research-backed? I mean that we have implemented this, especially in Asian context, especially in India context, which is connected to NEP's foundational years of K2 of child's development, also getting readiness for the school. So thank you for being with us today. And I am already getting notification that our registered participants from Peru, Brazil, Spain, Mexico, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, UAE, Finland, of course, Malaysia, Jakarta. Thank you very much for being with us on Zoom and for being with us on other social media platforms like YouTube, Facebook. We warmly welcome you. As I always say in all my sessions, today, your time is the biggest currency that you're spending with us. And we promise to make it worth your while for being with us to know more about CCE Finland. But this session will also be kind of a zoom in to answer all your questions that you might have. Or what is a Finland early years pedagogy? Why is it famous? If you are a teacher who wants to open her own preschool, you've been passionate for years, and you want to do something different which nobody is doing, combining Finland pedagogy, combining your education policy, we are the answer. And in next 1 hour, me and my colleagues will take you through this beautiful journey. I thank you once again for your time. And at this moment, I will invite my colleague, Ms. Sayowa. She will introduce herself, talk about her expertise, her experience in early years from more of a Finnish and Spanish perspective. So I warmly welcome her. Sayowa, over to you. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Simi. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Yes, okay. So thank you and hello everyone. I would like to present my, I would like to share my screen first. So allow me a minute, please. Okay, is it visible now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. So my name is Sayoa, and as you might know, of course, I work at SISU Finland. But before moving into my current role, I spent several years, and when I say several, it is around 7 and 8 years, working directly in Finnish early childhood education, both as an early years educator and as a play school manager. So today I am speaking to you not only from a theoretical or policy perspective, but from real and everyday experience inside Finnish early childhood education centers. So yeah, this means that I've been observing children, working with different Finnish educators and seeing what truly works in practice, right? So one of the most common questions I usually hear from educators around the world is, what is the secret? I mean, early childhood education in Finland is so famous, and everybody wants to know the secret. But my honest and personal answer always is that there is no secret. But what Finland truly has in a deep and genuine, what it has is like a genuine and deep respect for childhood. So I would like to pause here for a moment and introduce the areas of learning as defined in the Finnish National Core Curriculum. So because these areas describe the key objectives and context of pedagogical activities in Finnish early childhood education, and they guide educators in planning and implementing different pedagogical activities together with the children. So the 5 areas are these ones that you can see here, which is the first one is rich world of languages. The second one is diverse forms of expression. The third one is me and our community. Fourth one is exploring and interacting with my environment. And the fifth one is I grow, move, and develop. And this is very important because in Finland, children are entitled to gather different experiences across all these learning areas, and not through separate lessons, but through integrated and meaningful activities, and very often through play. So the learning areas are combined and applied in practice according to children's interests, their competence, and their development stage. And play is one of the main contexts where all this integration happens. And this is one of the main reasons why I want to talk about play. So how is play understood in Finnish ECE, and why I chose this main theme to present today? Because I truly believe, and this is personal, but I think it will be meaningful for you, that it is one of the most important foundations of early childhood education. and because it is, to my understanding, one of the easiest principles to start implementing from day one, regardless of the country you work in. So, yeah, but now I'll go back to how play is understood in Finnish education, and I'll give you some of the foundations. Of course, these are not all of them, but yeah, I'll try to give you like a idea of it. So the first one is that play is not a break from learning. And this means that play is not seen like a break, but that play is the learning. So it is recognized as a right of the child and as a core pedagogical tool. So this means that through play, children develop language, social skills, creativity, emotional well-being, and all these competencies support them far beyond the early years. So this could be the first foundation of play in Finnish early childhood education. The second one is about the role of the educator in play. So the role of an educator is not just watching them play, but it is to create conditions for meaningful play for them. Try to see how children play, observe them, extend their participation, make the play inclusive. That's one of the important ones in Finnish early childhood education, and support their relationships while playing. The third one is that play is purposeful, protected, and joyful. And what I mean with this is that play is not accidental and not unstructured. So children are given time, and with time I mean uninterrupted play, which means that sometimes it is okay if they are playing to continue the play instead of rushing to the next activity or next action of the day. They are also provided with a space and safe place for them to play, both indoors and outdoors. And then we also give them the freedom to explore ideas, to test different hypotheses, to make mistakes, and to learn from that. And yes, so the fourth one could be that play is observed and documented. And so teachers do observe when children are playing, and we try to understand what are their interests, how they think, what are their emotions when playing, and many others. And we use these observations for planning activities, planning games, planning all the individual curriculums. Then we also use it for evaluation and assessment, and to take pedagogical decisions. As you can see here, I made a question for you. So if you could please write in the chat, and I will try to go and check the chat now while you take 1 minute to answer, please. And yeah, I'm trying to read the chat. Maybe if Simi can help me with reading the chat, because I can't do it at the same time as
we're still waiting for the participants to answer.
Okay.
So the question is how play is understood in Finnish ECE, which is early years. And you could choose from the options, or if you have your own kind of theory about it, you can write. And let's make this like an active session so that, we get to know from your perspective also. So how according to you as an educator, you think, how do you think play is understood in Finnish context, in Finland's context?
Yeah. Well, the question exactly was if they
do you use playtime as
playtime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So are you currently using playtime as an extra thing, or are you using it as an assessment tool? So So Hema is saying not really use play as assessment, but only for entertainment and engagement in Indian concepts. Very well done, Hema, and thank you for a transparent answer. Arya says for observation, not assessment. Deepali, not exactly as assessment, but more for observation.
Okay.
For some, Shinali is saying it is an assessment too. Wonderful. And let's just keep another 30 seconds for others to respond. Do you use play as an assessment, or as some are saying, just for entertainment or giving children the break, or sometimes it is in the lesson plans or in the timetable just to give like teachers a little bit of break? Is that how your school is doing at this moment? Nothing right and wrong. So whatever you're giving is like, whatever you're doing is perfect. We just want to know more. Okay, so I think mostly it is SIO for you. It is mostly used for entertainment, engagement,
Okay.
not for observation. And for some, there are teachers who are trained to observe play, which is like someone has a question that are teachers in Finland trained to observe play? Is that quite clear in other part? And it can be assessment for learning, but we are not clear like how it is for assessment. And then we are also getting some from Facebook is that like how like Facebook and YouTube is like, how can this be even an assessment tool? So maybe in your next few slides, you will answer that. And
Yes,
some
sure.
are saying that they use it because children also need a break and refresh themselves. So play is more of refreshing, entertainment, break per se. Very less times it is observation and very less time it is assessment. So probably that is a sum total of the answer for you, Sayo.
Got it. Yes, I was just curious to know how it is in other countries.
Sure.
And thank you very much for participating and making this session very interactive. I will continue. I am sure we'll have time at the end for questions and answers, right?
Saiva, just
Yes.
one thing I want to make sure that I'm not able to see your video. Is everybody else seeing Saiva's video?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because this Zoom is like not letting me read or I can't hear you, Simi.
That's fine, Sayo. I just continue. It's
Okay,
good
I
enough.
will
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Present.
So Sayo, one more very good response is that observing the playing time gives feedback, and I consider that as an assessment. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, yes, great. Thank you very much. Okay, so then another one is that play happens every day and in all weather. And this is usually shocking for educators from other countries because we do play in rainy days, snowy days, even stormy days, and very cold days. Unless, of course, we do have like a very like horrible storm, and then of course we keep children inside. But we do play outdoors in all weather conditions, and this is a very nice reminder I always like to tell that there is no bad weather, but only bad clothing. So yeah, so I am also curious to know if in other countries children play in rainy conditions outdoors. So again, if we can
Sure.
write in the chat or raise your hand, please interrupt me and we can. I would like to know how it is in other countries.
So the question is, do your kids play outdoors if it is rainy, extreme weather? But in Asian context, Sayo, the weather
Yes,
can be also extremely
extremely
hot.
hot. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So the thing is, it's just not rainy. Are you also one of those ECE educators who has this pressure from children to protect children and from all kind of weathers? And we know that pressure, right? But
Yeah.
like, how is the playtime? Playtime is irrespective of how the weather is outside, or it's more like, oh, it's like rainy or it's very warm, and then we are just going to keep children indoor. Yeah. Okay. So, Saya, we're getting good feedback. And so, playtime is a way to develop social skills. So, this is from the previous one. So, parents get panic. Okay. Thank you, Shanali, for being so transparent. Yes, we understand that. And parents do get panic, and especially moms, not in hot weather. Okay. So in rainy weather also it is a no, because for teachers it takes them a long time to get outdoors, but yes, in winter. So I'm just reading these responses for
Yes,
you because we're
thank you
not
very
in the
much.
chat yet.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, so before we go further, I would like to play a game. And this is a quiz. So again, please use the chat, and YouTube and Facebook participants live, I think they can also use their own chat there. And we have part of the CC team reading their chat. So please try to participate. And the quiz here, the question is, in Finnish early childhood education, approximately what percentage of learning happens through play?
Okay, so the question is like, how much of your percentage would you say in your lesson plan, especially in Asian context, is that are you actually drawing your lesson plan saying, okay, this much is going to happen only through. Okay, so some are saying 100%, some are saying 90, 70, 80, 100. So what I'm understanding and translating this is Saywa, that 90% is happening through play.
Yeah,
90
okay.
or 60 to 70, yeah.
Nice listening. Yeah. So the correct answer in like Finnish view is that there is no percentage, because play is the main context of the learning. So it's not a percentage at all, but it is like play is the context of the learning. I hope everybody understands the meaning of it. So we need to, in the Finnish view, we don't see play as like a percentage or learning as a percentage, but we see it as the whole thing. Okay, I will continue if there are no more suggestions from the chat. Yeah? Yeah.
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So, and now I would like to give some practical personal tips to everybody working in early years. And it is to how you can start implementing play immediately from tomorrow, for example. And I would like to make it clear that this is a philosophy, not a model to copy. But this could be my first 4 tips. And I will start presenting one of them. But please take note that this is just a philosophy and not a model to copy. So having worked myself as an early childhood educator and also as a play school manager, and now collaborating internationally through SISU Finland, I've seen how this philosophy shapes like real everyday practice. And yeah, so at SISU Finland, I would say that we don't see Finnish early childhood education as something to copy, but we see it as something to understand and thoughtfully adapt it to different cultural contexts. And okay, so my first practical tip would be that you observe before you intervene. One of my first mistakes when I started working back 9 years ago, when I was quite young, it was that I was stepping in the kids' play like very early. So my tip here, my tip here could be to just try to pause before stepping in, observe who is leading the game, who is left behind, who is, and then decide if support is good or not. So my practical example could be that, for example, when children start playing, take 5 minutes to observe, just 5 minutes. And first thing is not to correct them, not to redirect like the play, and to not ask questions immediately. And then just observe and try to answer to these questions that I wrote here. And I think that only after you observe, you get to decide, like, does this play need my support or does it need my trust? And this alone, I think that it really changes the quality of play dramatically. So this could be my first tip. Then the second one could be to shift from activities to play invitations. So I could say that in Finnish context, educators don't plan very rigid activities for playtime, but they create the conditions and invitations for play. To understand this better, I would like to give you an example. So, for example, instead of saying, now we will all do a craft about animals, I could personally shift the sentence and say something like, for example, look at what materials we have here. I have prepared these materials for you. So let's see what animals might appear today. And just give them these concrete ideas. And the goal is not the final product. And this is something very important in Finland. We don't evaluate the final product, but the process. And with the process, I mean the level of engagement, the imagination, what kind of interactions have been there during the activity or the game, and so on. So this could be my second tip. The third tip could be to protect uninterrupted play. And with I know that this might not be easy in all the contexts. I know very well, but I would try to be at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes flexible with the kids. So if they are playing and their playtime is 30 minutes in your own context, if you see that they're playing so nicely that they are learning a lot of things through this kind of game, play, whatever, I could recommend being flexible for at least 5-10 minutes so that you can delay the next transition by those minutes. And I could suggest avoiding play. I know it is not possible always, but I could suggest avoiding a stopping play for worksheets or other academic tasks that you might need to finalize, or adult driving schedules. Yeah, because my recommendation and my understanding is that deep learning happens when play is long-lasting and satisfying, and not when it's constantly interrupted. Okay, so the fourth one, and very related to the observation, so to the first tip, is that educators should learn to step in and step out of the play. So Finnish educators are trained to know when to enter play and when to stay out. So my practical tips here could be to step in when a child is excluded, when conflict cannot be solved by their own, or when play is stuck or very, very repetitive. And then to step out when children are negotiating on their own, when children are experimenting, and when of course they are solving problems by themselves. And then my last tip could be to use play as your assessment tool. So in Finland, as I explained before, play is constantly observed and documented, not tested. So my practical example here could be that instead of formal assessments, you can note, for example, how a child uses language in play, or how they solve problems, or how they interact with their friends. And then some of the simple documentation tools that you can start using already are like short notes, and also taking photos, and like one sentence observations. And then these observations can guide planning for better than milestones or checklists. And okay, so of course, Finnish early childhood education is much, much more than play. And we could spend hours talking about it and talking about different topics about early childhood education in Finland, like, for example, assessment, documentation, teacher autonomy is also one of my favorites, curriculum, planning and implementing pedagogy, and many, many others. And I think that's exactly the point, that to truly understand and try to implement this pedagogy. But that's where SISU Finland comes in, because we work with education professionals from many countries, and we help them in a ethically and in a meaningfully way and adapted to Finnish educational principles to their own context. So we never forget your own context. And with this, I would like to give the floor to Shirin, who will explain how CCE supports educators globally through our SISU principles. So, Shirin, I will continue sharing my screen for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sayo.
Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. You have heard a lot about Finnish ECEC from Saiwa, and I'm happy to share the information that for this particular interesting topic and this webinar, we have got registration from 19 countries, and there are many more people watching us currently on YouTube, and our subscribers are like 82,000 plus. So we are reaching up to those many people here. So I welcome you again, and I'm here to tell you what are like the SISU principles and what does it mean by SISU principles. So it is our way, CCE's way, to adapt the Finnish early childhood education for the world. Because when we work with countries, different countries where they are interested in Finnish education, they always have this question that how will it work in my contexts, or how will it work in my curriculum, my culture. So of course we understand that, and then when we were doing our own research and how it can become adaptable for other countries, we found these four principles. And where you might be knowing that SISU is a very cultural thing for Finland. It's the core of Finnish culture. And in that sense, it means perseverance or grit or bravado. But for us, we made it as an acronym. And that's why there is like S for search, I for ignite, then another third S is for share and sustain, and U is for unlock your potential. So when Sayoa was explaining about play, and she also mentioned about the learning areas, so there are 5 important learning areas, and we tried to scale it up to different national education policies of various countries and found these 4 pillar principles. So the first one, where we call it like searching for the solution, there we mean that the students, they should be able to develop their observation skills, their analytic skills, and we help them doing that through the Finnish pedagogy that we use in any kind of daycare or any preschool in any country. Then the second principle is about ignite your imagination. So Einstein's famous quote, as it says, that imagination is important than knowledge. So we also believe in that principle. And as a researcher in the field of creativity, and basically where I was trying to find out the relationship between the learning environment and the creativity of students, it was yet proven again that when the environment is nurturing, positive, and open, then your creativity reaches new heights. And as we all understand that 21st century is all about creativity. So that's why we took it as our second important principle, that is ignite your imagination. Then the third one, when we think about Finland, the most important thing that stands out is the sustainability, because in Finland we work a lot on the sustainability, recycling, and all that kind of. We want our children to take it as a life skill, not only a skill for school. So that's why we want to give it to all our students who are studying in SISU preschools or any of our partner schools in various different countries, that we will show them how they can use sustainability in their daily life with examples that they will be able to see in the preschool. And of course, as Finland is also known for its Nordic egalitarian approach, where sharing is caring. So we also want to include sharing in the activities that we are doing and showing again it by example to our students. The last important principle that we believe in is unlocking your potential. Now, what do we mean by unlocking your potential for the early years? So, as you all understand that our self-esteem, our self-image is of paramount importance when we want to become something in our later life. So, in the early years, it is crucial that we give them the place where they can explore, they can experiment, and thus they can unlock their potential. So, this way, by using our SISU principles, we have tried to adapt the Finnish ECEC that is implementable in any country and in any context. You will listen to more about how you will be able to use it in your countries, how CCE can help you in using these principles, and CCE's various offerings about approaching the SISU principles and the overall ECEC in a short while by Simi. But before that, I have come to the highlight of this webinar. Sayua, can you go to the next slide, please? Yes, so the highlight of this webinar, now I want everybody's attention here on this slide, is that now after me, Simi will come in and she will tell you a lot about our SISU offerings. So we have something called SISU Preschool Franchisee and SISU Pack. She will talk more about it. But the highlight is that you have to book a call with her. My colleagues will put the book a call link in the chat box here in Zoom call as well as in YouTube and Facebook. And then you can use that link and you can book a call with Simi. Before the webinar ends, if you do that, then you will receive a 700 euros discount on our SISU offerings. So this is the best offer. So please buckle up and please don't forget to book a call. You will still have about 20 minutes or so where Simi will be explaining the SISU offerings. So thank you so much again for joining us and keep on clicking the link and book the call. Simi, over to you.
I have a question on the things which was being explained in this webinar.
We will keep a time for that in the end. Don't worry.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shireen and Sayoa. And I come to the last but the main segment. My colleagues have explained you the essence of Finnish ECE. Many of those are in Asian context. We were so pleased to see that 60 to 70% was the range from the voting we took, that play is your way of assessment. And that's such a wonderful start. So this seems like a fastest finger round because you're going to listen to me presenting the main segment of how you, as a teacher, a preschool owner, can have this whole new concept of Finnish ECE in your classrooms, yet taking a partake in the offer that my colleague, Dr. Shireen, gave you. So many times I meet through my doctoral research, through my CCE work, I meet so many teachers saying, hey, you know what? I have been in the preschool for a very long time. And I know that I can make a difference. How can I do that? How can I be having that niche in the market and open something which is very different? Then there are preschool owners that I have coffee with and they say, I have a preschool. I don't want to change the brand, but yet I want to make my children future ready, yet not take their childhood away from them. So my next segment is focused on that. I will share my screen and share two very simple options that you as an educator can do. Now, when I say with this so much conviction that you can do it, is because what solutions we are giving you is all out of a research-based practice where we have implemented in our own school, because CCE pioneers in school development. CCE works across the globe with schools who want to implement in Finnish pedagogy without changing their boards, without changing their norms. So what you see, or what your teachers will learn, or the programs that are included in SISU are all research-backed. So thank you, Sayowa and Shireen, for setting the background for this. And as I said, this is a fastest fingers first kind of a session, but I do draw your attention on this. And I thought to myself and to my team is that what a better way to explain you this than making you see the content that we will share with you shortly after this call. So first offering is the SISU franchisee, where you want everything SISU, where you want end-to-end from branding to curriculum to teacher training to marketing materials, everything as SISU, and your school to be powered by SISU. So can you retain your name? The answer is yes, but then of course, SISU branding comes along with that. So in this segment, what we will see is how can you implement it? What are the offerings and what can we do with you? So one of the things that is very clear till now, and one thing that goes without saying, is that with ECE, it is all about joyful learning. It's all about the curriculum that is play-based, yet covers the main elements of Asian context, Asian teachers, Asian parents, and we know the pain points because, as I said, all our solutions are research-based. So are we going to cover mathematics? Are we going to cover science? Are we going to take care of the social emotional learning? And are we covering the writing? Yes, because we proudly have programs like Art of Creative Story Writing and Book Publishing, which does the writing bit of it, but focuses on pre-reading, pre-writing, and then the child is so curious that they want to write because of their natural curiosity. So is it a gamut of all of things? Yes. Is it a complete package? Yes, because we have spent about a decade to make it in an Asian context, yet have the Finnish element. So these are few FAQs. I will not read all of them to you, but there's some of the main thing is, do I need Finnish teacher to run my preschool? No. Do we train your teachers? Yes. Will my parents understand? Yes, because we make sure that your parents are not coming for PTMs, but they're coming for their workshops. Is this financially model viable? Absolutely less. Because again, as I said, we are very proud to do a research-backed work. So we have seen what Asian models offer, and we've seen the niche quality that we offer, and we are class apart. Can an existing preschool upgrade to that? Yes, one is the franchisee option, and in the next segment, I'll come to the curriculum option. Very important question. The question that I get most from the preschool owners or the preschool principals or teachers is, will the children be ready for grade 1? When you look at our curriculum, it just doesn't come with curriculum and teacher training. We are the only company that gives you a preschool in a box, which means that your teachers get a box with learning aids, with books, and with the project-based learning training to implement in the classroom, so the child is ready for grade 1. Very soon, with NEP coming in, the child will actually migrate at grade 3. So we have a K2 solution for you. So these are some of the FAQs. You don't need to take the screenshots. We are going to share this document with you. What is a SISU box? As I said, it's a Finnish preschool in a box. One box can be okay for one teacher to use for about 10 to 12 students. If you're starting a preschool, one box is more than enough. It already comes in your franchisee. And this particular part where, will my children be ready for grade 1 or grade 3? The answer is yes, because in SISU franchisee, in teacher training, in preschool box. We cover everything. How is research translated? We are very proud that we have published these case studies, and you can read how this has been actually implemented in our old schools in Asian curriculums. So what are our learning goals? And my colleagues very clearly covered this. It's play-based learning. It is giving the space for the child to be the child, and that it is supposed to be at that age, cultivating the curiosity, where the teacher becomes more of a facilitator, where she has all the things that she needs at tips of her fingers, rather than making those lengthy lesson plans, submitting to her coordinators. But everything with us is already given, but yet it has room for teachers' creativity, his or her creativity. And then, of course, one of the main things that my colleagues highlighted is social emotional development. What is our advantage is that every program that your teacher is doing with us or the school owners are doing with us is research backed. You can see how it has already been implemented. How can you implement in your classrooms? And each of these franchisees comes with a SISU box, which is, as I said, preschool in a box. And of course, it is modern because we are upkeeping with the innovation that is happening in early years. And will it have integration with technology? So we are very pro AI. We know it is here to stay, but yet we want to make sure that this is very well integrated, reduces the teacher's time for meticulous planning and other things, and gives more time to nurture the kids' curiosity and well-being. So this is a bit of an insight of what is a SISU box. We are very, very proud to have the design from Finland stamped to it. And it is, of course, inspired and designed by the Finland researchers. And Finland's maternity box is one boon to Finland because it comes with everything that a mother needs. And we wanted to make a box which everything a teacher needs to cultivate this very important brain development years of the child that is coming to her school. So what is inside the box? Of course, this is a very small list, but it comes with 175 plus activities. Now, very important question is, can this box be used through your nursery, prep 1, prep 2, but in some it is LKG, UKG? The answer is yes. How does it differ? Because of the teacher training. As they go along with the age groups, the same box can be used. Can this also be used by the parents? The answer is yes. And then we also, if you're taking the franchisee, we also give you something called as Satu Yoga. Satu means story in Finnish language. And in this, you also know how to use. So we are all about integration, as you can tell. So we integrate the story and the alphabets in the English and the language with the yoga. And this is what is all this box is about. So you can see all these lovely story cubes, which will also take these children to activate all of their body movements and understand and integrate the alphabets that they're learning with the story yoga. So your franchisee comes along with this. And then also it comes along with alphanumeric, because we understand that in Asian context, we need to make these children ready for grade 1 and grade 3 respectively. And then we also got very much queries from parents, from teachers, is we need something at home. So we also have this kit which can be given to your children who are coming to enroll. And it also has a wonderful tool of parenting diary, because we at CCE Finland and Finland ECE believes that parents are partners in education. So this is a beautiful diary, no pressure on parents, yet documenting very beautifully the learnings that children are doing in their fundamental years. And this is just some kind of entrepreneurial questions that you might have as a franchisee owner, as a new teacher who wants to build. So we do have radius exclusivity. We do have some part of royalty because we are with you for 2 years. We're ensuring the quality. We do take care of all your teachers to make sure that they are getting trained at the Finnish pedagogy and at India level on NEP also. As I said, 3 boxes are included, and branding and collateral is provided to you. Most importantly, will your teachers know what to do when they're coming to the classroom tomorrow? They will. All our training and development are self-paced, but quality audits are also included in this. Travel and cost is at actuals. And then we also have 20% discount when you're coming to Finland, because we pioneered in Finland educations, even Finland early years tours. And then these are some glimpses of what is already included in your franchisee, because we have about like 70 different programs. So your introduction to Finnish education, diploma in early childhood education, very important for school owners, principals, is pedagogical leadership, PL 101. Then IFC 101 is like answer to all the teachers who says this will not happen in my classroom, because this is all research-based program and it is included in this course. Then we also have for somebody who wants to make sure that this venture is going to give them some profit. So IFC 101 and leading preschool in Finnish way is the answer. Then we have a lovely course which is for parents and teacher called as Parent-Teacher Cooperation. And then, of course, it comes with a total digital resource, which is our SISU pack. And this is the franchisee tenure and all the things that come with you to nurture you as an entrepreneur, or if you're an existing preschool, to take you to that level. And then, of course, these are our coordinates, and we would love to talk to you. Now, this is all about franchising. And I know this has been quite a monologue, and I thank you for listening to me. I'm going to take a quick 1-minute break to see if there are any questions on the chat. But I'm going to come back to something else. I have always been meeting these educators who say, oh, I have got this whole thing established. I want to develop it. I don't want to let go of that. And what if I need the curriculum? So we have a solution for that as well. So I'm just going to come back and look at any of the things. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm just so pleased with all the people that are booking the calls and receiving the benefits out of it. Now, very quickly, I will go to the next and the last segment, where we will talk about what if you just want the curriculum. So if you just want the curriculum, we do have that as well. And it is called as SISU pack. And I hope you can see my screen now. So SISU pack is a kind of a solution for you if you want to just like have the curriculum with you, with not the franchisee, not the other frills. So let me just try and share in a better way for you. Yeah, hopefully this is visible. So SISU pack is something that you can take as a curriculum, and you can use this even in your existing preschool. So it doesn't matter what you're currently using. You can always weave in this Finnish pedagogy. Now, it is just not the curriculum, it is also the enhancements and making sure that you are reaching to the Finnish pedagogy and NEP level. Now here, let me see if I can, yes. So our mission and vision, of course, definitely aligns with what we spoke to you about SISU franchisee, but this gives you more of an independence. If you just want to see the curriculum, have your teachers following the curriculum, and yet also do what beautiful innovations that you're already doing in your preschool. And the advantage of this is, and if you're having a franchisee, this is already with you. It's a hands-on exploration, which comes by default. We have early literacy and language developed through pre-reading and pre-writing, so that the child is ready for their next step. Very important for us is family partnership. So even our SISU pack will give you guidance of how to do the parent workshops. And then the highlights remain the same. We want to cultivate curious learners. We want confident communicators, creative thinkers, and very important that they are joyful. They experience the joy when they're coming to your school, because they know that there is something to look forward via their play-based learning. So in this setup, even if you're taking a franchisee, this will come to you. So you can start as early as 18 months. So you can have mom and me classes or dad and me or parents and me classes. You have nursery, which is aligned with the NAP, which is 3 to 4 years. And then K1 to K2 classes, which is your prep 1 or LKG to LKG and UKG. And then in one of the best things that you get, even if you're taking this curriculum or the franchisee, is you know how to do set up the learning areas, how to do art and creativity station, have STEM integrated in this, and then you have play-based learning areas. And most important for us is how to integrate your outdoor learning. And then we also guide you with the studied student-teacher ratio. And then, of course, we also give you the roadmap of how your day should look like. It should be not about all studies because they are still at that brain development stage. So they are doing the social emotional learning, they are doing the language and literacy, they are doing early math, but it is also again play-based and science and discovery because we are so big on STEM. And fine and gross motor skills is very important. That's why we integrate outdoor learning and creativity and imagination, of course. And this is very important because many times I have been asked, like, how does your themes looks like? So our themes are very, very nicely cultivated over a year. And you will see that some themes have more time because we integrate project-based learning. We want them to see how seasons are connected with science, with geography and other things. And then, of course, we do want them to be aware of their own identity, community's identity, parents' identity, their neighborhoods. And this all involves integrated learning of the interacting with their family, with their teachers, with their parents, and making sure that they are learning the communication skills, the confidence building skills that they need. So this is just a snapshot of what our yearly theme looks like. And then this is how a day looks like or a week looks like. What topics do we do? How is the objective? And this is all given to your teachers from us. Yet there's a lot of room for creativity for them to add to this. So there will be worksheets. There will be a lot of outdoor play. There will be a lot of hands-on activity. Yet there will be a lot of space for well-being and play. And this is some part of your teacher training methods. And as I said, this is a part of SISU box. And then this comes as an optional. We also give your teachers how a typical daily routine of a Finnish kindergarten and aftercare should look like. And then, of course, as my colleague told you, the next steps are for you to register with us. And I'm sure my team is going to share the latest QR code. So I'll stop here. For us, it is very important that if you are an existing preschool owner or you are just developing to be a preschool enterprising chains, we are here to help you. Whether it is just a standalone, whether it is just starting from home, our solutions make sure that you get that comfort, that assurance that you can implement in your country and in your context. So with this, I also invite if my colleagues, Dr. Shireen or Ms. Sayowa, have any questions. Thank you very much for your comments.
From my side, Simi, just wanted to thank you. And I remember there was a question about assessment before while I was doing the presentation, so maybe I could answer to that. Or we can have a question and answers session now, maybe. So I don't remember who made the question because I was presenting the slides and I couldn't see the chat or anything. So if you can help me. Yes, please.
Yeah, two questions actually I have. See, you mentioned about most of the things you mentioned about the.
But sorry to interrupt, but will you please introduce yourself so that we know to whom we are talking to?
Myself, Shakib Sheikh. We have a preschool in Maharashtra, Ahmednagar district. So we have a kind of like not play-based, but a modern kind of preschool, not like a traditional one. But the things which which you discussed in this webinar was mostly play-based. But Indian parents, look for something which is more of, writing work or children doing things, or you are having like most of things are reading, writing, and alphabets. When the entire session or entire schooling would gonna be like play-based, so there will be a lot of doubts from the parents' side also, specifically in rural areas in India. So how can we cater these doubts, or how can we like?
That's such a great question, and I will take the lead on this because I have gone to tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. So one of the very important things is that we work with parents before we start working with children and with your own institute, your organization. Is that because, I sometimes ask my parents, have you brought a camcorder to record your children? And they look at me like, have I lost it? But I ask them, have you bought the camcorder? And do you have are you using barter exchange? They say, go, no. I said, exactly, because since we have changed, so have our learners. Now, as you see, we are taking care of the writing so importantly, because if you take care of pre-reading and pre-writing, you're actually activating their own brain development, giving them the nurturing environment rather than pressuring them. But in this context, one of the most important things is to work with parents, to take up their calls, to take up their questions and answer that. And another thing is that while we are working with parents, we are also working with our teachers, because gone are the times where only few teachers used to attend and cater to parents' teacher meeting. We want our teachers to be so confident saying, hey, you know what? I have specialized in brain development in these early years, and I know exactly what is right for your child. Now, will there be more questions after that? Yes, but our curriculum, our way of doing this research, of seeing the before and after effects helps it. Now, one of the key programs that we have is Art of Story Writing and Book Publishing. That is nothing about writing. So is the child writing? Yes. Is the child publishing? Yes. But is it child under the pressure? No. So that's exactly what we want to showcase to parents. So we encourage our preschools, even our kindergartens, to have this lit festivals so that parents can come and see how beautifully and creatively their children are writing. And another thing that we do very proudly is eliminate PTMs and bring in SLMs, which is student-led meetings, because these small children are so much capable of talking about their learning rather than the teacher talking and defending about this. So personally, I understand the demographic because we have our own school in Belgavi. And if you've understood the demographic of Karnataka, you will know that parents have do lot of questions. But we are very proud that when you work with parents, they understand that teacher and parent have common interest, which is the child. So that's all we need to convey to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Second question was, could you please let us know the overall procedure and fees of franchising?
Sure. So if you have booked a call with us, we will talk to you. And we would also want to know which city you are based in, if you're in India, Asia. And we also want to know what are your aspirations. And we will talk to you about the next steps. Sure.
All right, fine. Thank you.
And both of these brochures that we shared with you, whether it was for franchisee or the SISU pack, which is your SISU curriculum, we will be sending this to all our registered participants here on Zoom and also all our viewers who are there with us on YouTube. We are so proud, we are so thankful, so grateful that you're with us for such a long time, hearing us and asking your questions. So team, if we don't have any more questions, we can wrap up this session. And we have all your coordinates, and we look forward to talking to you one-on-one and taking your entrepreneurial journey or your Finnish early years journey to a next level. So if my colleagues want to add something, please do come up and say, or if not, then we can thank you for your time, because even your 60 minutes are so precious to us.
Yes,
Sayua,
and I
you
would like
wanted something. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to thank everybody for participating with my questions, the quiz, and everything. It was very nice having and learning from you as well, and how your reality is and how things work in your own context. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And we are waiting for you to book the meetings with Simi, and then let's continue our conversation from there.
Thank you, everyone, and appreciate your time. Have a very, very good year ahead, and may you all manifest your entrepreneurial goals and make it come true. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.